Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You got to excuse my voice. Wind up going to a watch party for my spring football team. We got a team named the Michigan Panthers. They play in the UFL, formerly known as the XFL, you guys. And if you've been around for any amount of time back in the 80s, you might have known that there's a league back in the 80s. Where is your shirt at? But I wanted to make this video, man, because I've been thinking a lot about how people get caught up in their views on YouTube. And it's good to pay attention to your views, but you are much more than your view count. Now, that can work in both ways. It can work good and bad. If you make videos and your view count is low, you might want to consider why it's low. Look into your analytics. Figure out in your analytics, why are things so low? What can you do to up your views? A lot of times people don't look into their analytics. They don't. I stay in my analytics, and my analytics tell me one thing in particular is that, obviously I knew this already then. And one of the things that it tells me is that I don't make evergreen content. Now, what is evergreen content? Evergreen content is content that's going to be around for a while. It's kind of named off the evergreen tree. Notice about an evergreen tree, very few of the little spiky leaf things fall. It's around. Winter, summer, evergreen is evergreen. It's going to be there. That's not the type of content I make. Is that the type of content you make? All of that matters, but don't get wrapped up in it. What I'm realizing is that it's kind of entertaining in a way, is that, so everybody knows I've been making content about one particular person, and that particular person, they are not as important as they think they are. They're not as relevant as they think they are. My views on a that person video gets about a third of what I do when I talk about that person, which is outstanding to me. So I have 1,600 subscribers. My last video got about 500 views or so. It's not bad. As soon as that other person is knocked out of the top 10, then the video that I made yesterday will be a 2 out of 10, a 3 out of 10, whatever the situation. So you got to know what your audience is. I know who my audience is and what my audience wants to see. And might want to put on, this is crazy, bro. I kind of don't understand when people are driving. The purpose of a blinker is to warn people that you are going to change lanes or turn, and it should be put on well in advance. I'm just saying. But you need to know your audience, and you need to be able to listen to your analytics. But what I realize is like I said before, is that the videos that I make about that person, okay? If you make a video and let's say you come out the gate, you're blazing. You got 500-600 views per hour. And then the real test is 48 hours later. What is that same video looking like? For me, I have 1,600 subscribers, but you should see my behind the scenes in the last 60 minutes. My videos about myself are getting more views than the videos I made about that certain individual, which tells me that certain individual, that person, is fading away. It's fading away, whether they want to accept it or not. Use the term fall off. They have falling off, will continue to fall off, because you are more than what your view count says. You are more or you are less, right? But for my new small creators, I want you to make sure you pay attention to your analytics. Now, for me, I understand what kind of niche that I'm in when it comes to my other channels, right? So my voice is going, you gotta forgive me. I make content that's the equivalent of the news, because it's either you make evergreen content or you don't. Evergreen content is always gonna be around. Somebody is always gonna be searching how to do said thing. But for me, I know that the video content that I make is like the news. It's literally news, rumors, instant reaction, instant analysis that may or may not be relevant in 2 days. That's why with my other channel, you have to really kind of know what you're dealing with. And that's why I've never recommended chasing trends, because if you do that, you're going to have to keep chasing them to amount. If you want your channel to grow, you're going to have to continue to chase them, because that's the foundation that your channel is going to be based off of. Now, my foundation, you could say, is based off a particular situation, but I don't think so. I don't think so. You know why I don't think so? Because in your analytics, there's a tab, and it says content your audience watches. Do you know mine is blank? My tab is blank. It says not enough data to even give me any information, which tells me that, to me, I can still save the channel. I call it save the channel. But it's very important that you stay tuned in, because inside of your analytics is so much data that you can use to turn your channel around. You gotta know what to look for, and you gotta be willing to do it, right? Some channels could be so lost, so deep down and so embedded into a certain niche or certain topic that it's hard to pull them from out of that. You got to be willing to see it. You got to be willing to look for it. You got to be willing to accept it. And so, but I realized today, I said, wait a minute, Derek, you would think if that particular situation was as relevant as they thought they were, that the videos made about that situation, that's what they're going to be referred to now as the situation, would be getting many, many more views. Now, in a way, they're evergreen, because as long as the situation remains the situation, then those videos will always be there. But if the situation is recommending my videos and my videos aren't really getting a ton of views, then what do you think that means? That the situation ain't gonna be the situation for much longer. So make sure you stay in tune, man. And like I said, this channel, I appreciate all the comments on my last video, telling me what you guys would like to see, telling me why you're here. I do appreciate that, because there comes a point where, like, I thought about this. My banner says be more. My banner says be more, and I am so much more, right? I am so much more than any one thing. But I just wanted to put that out there, because there's a lot of distractions going on. And one of my favorite comments is talking about maybe showing the journey. Because I was actually talking to another person about that, about the journey that YouTube has allowed me to go on, and the journey of being on YouTube. Not necessarily how to or tips and tricks. There's a lot of those people out there, but what YouTube has allowed me to do, and maybe inside of that, show you how YouTube has allowed me to do those things. Because you realize about the situation, that the situation has zero substance. They have no substance at all. You have no idea. They have no substance. And soon the situation will not be a situation anymore. Appreciate you guys for watching my videos, man. We'll see where we go from here, and I will catch you next time.